Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back. We start chapter 8 in this video today, and that is the importance of prayer. That's exactly what it's called. Okay, so we're going to start out with a little note here from the author. Throughout the daily messages, Mary has asked us to pray, not only for ourselves and our loved ones, but for the entire world. As we received these messages, it became clear that we did not know how and why to pray, and also didn't understand the importance of prayer. So the first section is simply titled Prayer. In giving this message to the world, I have asked that all people pray, but I realize that you on earth do not always understand prayer. You think of it as a pleading or begging. Prayer is many ways to communicate with the Creator God. I will give you some of the ways to pray. Understand that the very act of desiring a closeness with God the Father is the very best prayer, because this is the true purpose of prayer and meditation. Start with the form of prayer you know, and as you progress in prayer, your very prayers will change. They will change as you understand more the spiritual realm. Know that true prayer is communion with Father God. It is a blending of self into His great Spirit. It is accepting the love which God has for us. Prayer is your ability to communicate directly to God, the Creator. All have a need for this communication. It is as essential to your well-being as air or water. This need was placed in you by God at the time of creation. Everyone prays, even when there is no realization of the process. You are continuously communicating with the Creator. It is, however, to one's benefit to become aware of the lines of communication. It is in your best interest to consciously open your mind and heart to God for this spiritual nourishment, the sustenance, which brings healing to your spirit, soul, mind, emotions, and body. Spiritual sustenance is like no other element on earth. It is comprised entirely of the love, energy, and life of God. With spiritual sustenance, your mind, heart, and body will become whole, unlike any wholeness known on earth, and only like wholeness known in heaven. The heavenly wholeness is for your entire being. All aspects of your being are aided, not only that of which you are aware. This is why prayer in one's life is the essential ingredient to survival, your survival in life eternal. Excuse me. The life which is lived on earth is but a small part of your entire life. Your reality is in spirit. It is the spirit which is made in the image and likeness of God, Creator of the universe. Deep within the heart of all are aware of this connection to spirit. Every person on earth calls on a higher power to help in time of extreme anxiety. Often, you are not even aware of this distress call because it comes from deep within your being. The importance of prayer is for your very survival. This implies that your survival on earth is based on your prayer. In the inner recesses of your heart, you are aware that the earthly life is one part of your entire being. The inner prayers of your heart are the communication. Physical survival is something which is instinctive in all creation. But in the day when the earth shakes and moves, you will need to know that your connection to a higher power is intact, to be assured that this connection to God is a good connection. This will be your saving grace. People pray in many different ways. They pray even when they are not aware of the act of praying. All people talk to themselves. The chatter within your mind and heart is prayer. This chatter is the automatic process of prayer. It brings into your life whatever it finds your mind concentrating on. What you expect, what you consider to be your worth, this is your automatic prayer. Prayer is as natural as breathing. Listen closely to the chatter in your mind. Then you will have an idea of how to pray. When you pay attention to the lingering thoughts in your mind, you will find the reason for the circumstances of your life. To change the mind chatter is to change your life. To simply say, think positive is not enough, because there is an automatic process to prayer. The inner thoughts which you hide from others are brought forth automatically. That is how a person who seemingly thinks positive can have so many problems. He perhaps is not thinking the same in his inner self. The words spoken in the outer must agree with that which you believe in the inner heart and mind. Your automatic prayer will always produce the very conditions it finds in your inner mind and heart. Begin now to make an assessment of your life and find the reasons for its situations and conditions. Perhaps they are due to the automatic process of your inner chatter. A major step in eliminating the causes of unhappiness, anger, and war is the self-assessment of each life. To make a concerted effort to seriously take a look at that which you hold dear is a very big step in cleansing yourself. This is not only a big step, but an all-important step. Many people pray by rote, R-O-T-E. They never take a good look at those hard feelings they hold to others. Jesus said, "Why look at the mote in your brother's eye and ignore the log in your own eye?" Ferret out all the hurts, the causes of snide remarks toward your neighbor. Critique your inner feelings towards your world. Cleanse from your heart and mind any feeling of envy, jealousy, anger, unforgiveness, prejudice, and such hard emotions. These emotions deplete your energy and your life. I speak of the inner life. I'm sorry, my son is playing a game in the living room. He's on it's like, I don't know what it is. It's not a video game. I don't know. Do not allow these kind of emotions to linger in you. Begin now to acknowledge that all people are the product of the one God. We are all in life together. God is whole and God is all. He is unchanging in that there cannot be any improvement in God, but there is always change in God's creations. Even though there is change, realize and understand that God does not change in this respect. His approach to us is to allow us complete freedom of choice. Keep in mind that you can have anything in your life you desire. Enter your prayers into the positive side. Ask for healing, plenty, love, and serenity in relationships. You can also enter your prayers into the negative side by worrying, by visualizing the negative or downside of any situation. If you worry instead of pray, then be aware that worry becomes your prayer. By worrying, you are automatically praying for the very thing you are worrying over. When you what if any situation, you are asking for the very conditions you do not want. This is what many people do, and usually the scenario is all in negative overtones. Or what if, and then they go on to paint a dreary picture in their minds. Remember that this is also prayer. In this way, you actually pray for what you do not want in your life. Even by saying, I do not want this, you're still praying for that. I do not want this. Prayer is talking to God in your very own way. Perhaps it is through images, music, word, or paintings. Hold on. Most people pray using all these methods. While listening to music, they envision scenes or allow their minds to build images of happiness. Or while listening to music, they become sad and see dark and dreary images. Remember that these feelings are prayers. When music moves you with feelings of joy, peace, or love, this becomes your request. Then music itself becomes your prayer. As you observe a painting or create a painting or any object of art, you pray. Sculptures, paintings, or any work of art causes good or bad impressions. Realize these very impressions become your prayers. As with all works of art or all images which lie in your mind, the very image and the feelings the image brings forth becomes your request. You may ask then, why is it that when someone prays for something bad to happen to another, it does not? Because this kind of prayer is not honored. Your thoughts of harm to another cause you more harm than they will anyone else. What you think of others becomes your prayer for yourself first. Whew. How you view your family and friends is how you are praying for them. Take care that as you think of your life, you are grateful for what you have. Gratitude is prayer. When you enter a mental or emotional state of gratitude, you are asking of God. As the provider, God replenishes your life with what you are. When you think of a person and are grateful for their friendship, know that this is a prayer for the friend and for the friendship. When you are happy and grateful for some item or condition of your life, this is prayer. When you observe abundance of material wealth in another, be grateful and realize that what God has given this one, He can also do for you. There are no shortages in God's abundance. Become grateful in mind and heart for all demonstrations of good. This is true prayer. All thoughts, feelings, and words are prayer, because through these you are constantly in touch with the universal Creator. To have power in your prayer requires thought, concentration, and certainty. There is power in your thoughts, which comes from your mind and heart. Many call it electrical energy, mind power, or vibrational power. It does not matter what this power is called, because through this power, you are communicating with God the Father. The random thoughts which are filled with anger harm you. The old hurts, the inner seething, those inner feelings of depression are prayers. These kinds of prayers cause you much harm. That is why Jesus said, "Let your words be yeah, yeah, or nay, nay, or yea, yea, or nay, nay." This includes your thoughts. The inner grumbling and complaints are prayers which bring these very conditions to your life. The mind can be thought of as an arm. The heart can be considered the other arm. So to embrace spiritually, you use the mind and heart as arms. The power to embrace spiritually is the power of prayer. Through prayer, you can embrace the whole world. It is in this innermost part of you that you truly pray. The most important item in your prayer is truth. Truth is that which is true of God. To remind yourself of who you are, a creation of the one God of the universe, is true prayer. Statements of truth are the highest form of prayer. When you can align yourself to God in this manner, I am a creation of the one God of the universe, He who created everything. So she's saying when you align in this manner of that statement right there, I am a creation of the one God of the universe, He who created everything. You have connected to the powerful mind of God. In connecting to the mind of God, all answers to all questions are found. Remind yourself daily of your true value and your true place in God's creation. Now, let me say this about truth. Oftentimes, people or religions decide they are the only ones who have the real definition of truth. But truth is true no matter what the circumstances, conditions, or who is involved with the truth. Truth stands alone. Truth and God are one. So prove the truths which are given to you. If it is true of God, it is truth. What is true of the Creator is truth. We know that God is love, so all things which are loving are truth. God is the only one who can give life. In this way, you can prove truths. God does not need to change. You do. God does not need prayers. You do. God is the source of all good. Another way of saying this is that God and good are synonymous. You cannot have good, truth, or love without having God present. It is you and this world who are in need of the elements of God. God already is all. God the Father is complete and whole. When I say whole, I am saying that in God there are no minuses. There are no needs, and certainly there are never any depletions. As a whole being, God has everything, is everything, and can supply everything. As a whole being, God is. Can you appreciate the message in this sentence? God is. Can you see that prayer then is for your benefit and your benefit and for the benefit of every creature on earth? Prayer is to bring your mind and heart into the oneness of God. People on earth and we who are in the spirit world have a need for meditation and prayer. It is our lifeline. It is our sustenance. When you find fear, anger, and these kinds of destructive emotions in your heart or as thoughts in your mind, then know that the lifeline to God's essence has been cut from your side. There is a kink or a block of some kind in you. Perhaps there is a concentration on need, depletion, fear, or hatred in your mind. God does not have these kind of thoughts. There is no fear in God. He does not recognize fear. God simply turns fear into courage, depletion into plenty, hatred and anger into love and forgiveness. These kind of strong emotions cannot remain the same in the presence of God. This is what happens when you bring your fearful heart to God. He is the one who gives you courage. In fearful circumstances, when you connect to God, you will find courage. In the presence of hatred, when you connect to God, you find love. When things are dark and dismal, you find light and hope. This is prayer. Bring to God what is in your mind and heart. He will change the conditions to good. The asking is for your mind to accept the changes which will come. If a situation causes you to fear, simply acknowledge the fear and give it to God to replace with courage. Here are some steps to take to easily change your angers and heart emotions. Number 1, acknowledge what is in your heart and or mind. Number 2, release all that is in your heart and mind completely to God. Number 3, expect a better condition or circumstance because God only gives improvements. And number 4, give sincere gratitude. God only changes us for our good. God cannot give us anything but good. God is good, and this is all God is. Can you understand that God can only give what he is or has himself? It is an impossibility for God to be anything but good, because good is the nature of God. Good is all that is in the Father's storehouse. The flood of good which God sends is for our spiritual good. The first good you received is for your true life, which is your spiritual life. After you've been spiritually blessed, the earthly, physical life is aided. God's good enhances us spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Good, as God gives, is for our total being. God is as interested in your physical life as he is in your spiritual life. Many times I speak of the spiritual life and the physical life as separate lives. This is for your understanding, to give you notice of the many levels of your being. In truth, you live the spiritual life along with your physical life. It is lived at the same time. Your entire being is interconnected. Only your spiritual life is eternal and is not over with when the physical existence ceases. It is at the end of each lifetime on earth that we make our assessments and judgments. But this has been addressed. Pray, therefore, for your entire being. So if you didn't catch my last video, she's not talking about them making assessments and judgments. It is our spirit self that makes the assessments and judgments of the soul, which is a sum total of all of our thoughts, feelings, words, actions, and deeds, goals and plans, every single thing that you did, said, thought, what have you, while on earth in this current life. When you have emotional problems, they are not separate. They are your problems. When you have a mental concern, it is your concern. You are a mental being as well as emotional, spiritual, and physical being. There are also many other aspects of your entire being. You are an ethereal being, an astral being, a psychic being, and much, much more. All these aspects are you. All are interconnected, and all are important aspects of your being, of your total being. Just seeing where we're at. God does not punish anyone. He does not have to. We are our own worst critics. In their hearts, people are more critical of themselves than they are of others. God sees this and allows each to judge himself. Humans expect perfection in themselves and in others. By expecting perfection, we are not tolerant of the mistakes of others. People have such a difficult time with imperfections. They will close their eyes to the imperfections in themselves and concentrate on the imperfection in others. Yet, when everyone comes to Judgment Day, you cannot deny the imperfections in your being, and you certainly won't be going over anyone else's. How does anyone attain any degree of perfection? Through much prayer and meditation. Also by being loyal, tolerant, compassionate, and loving with yourself and with others. Admiration as prayer. Admiration is another way we pray. Through the act of admiration, you are in a state of prayer. Now I speak of true admiration and not envy. When you look at nature, at the animals, and admire the life in them, then you are praying. True admiration is an act of appreciation and virtue. All things on earth or in space are God's creation and to be admired. As you admire the talent in another, you are admiring the innate talent in all of us, which is God. Prayer is not only requesting, but many other elements. Something happens when you enter into the state of admiration. It happens inside you and in what you admire. You not only appreciate, but you show love. Not romantic love, but an innocent and virtuous love of that which you admire. In admiring nature, you are showing God the love which you see in nature. In admiring a person, you are appreciating the creation which is God made. In admiring a talent such as art or music, you are appreciating the inner ability which is God-given. So admiration, then, is prayer. Admiration aids growth. When you admire someone's talent, you pray for it to grow. When you admire another person, the love and affinity is felt and grows. Admiration is like a fertilizer which you spread upon your life. It is truly prayer. Now, allow me to caution against envy. Envy is one of those strong emotions which depletes and causes a blockage in your being. Envy causes not only your good to be depleted, but the energy of those whom you envy. Envy makes the statement, I do not believe in my own abilities. Envy suggests to your mind that you are lacking in some way. In truth, no one is lacking, because in truth, we are all spiritual beings, creations of the one great God of the universe, who gives wholeness to all, attainable and possible in every being, in every world, and in every level of existence. So I was going to stop this page over, but we're going to be starting a new, I'll start the section, which is joy as prayer, and then we'll finish reading joy as prayer, and then the rest of the chapter in the next video. Joy as prayer. Another form of prayer is joy, pure joy. Happiness and joy are ways people pray without knowing that they pray. When you are happy, you are grateful. Where there is joy and humor in life, sadness is eliminated. I speak of humor which is not directed to anyone's failings or at the expense of another person. Humor brings an element of lightness into every situation and circumstance. To look at life with humor, you are showing your confidence in God's care. It is easy to be lighthearted and carefree when you do not have worries. And in reality, you do not have worries when you recognize your connection to God and to His love. In maintaining joy and happiness within you, you are creating according to God's plan. God's plan for each of us is good. We are the ones who see life as difficult. We are the ones who take a dim view of life. People hold on to their problems as a cherished prize. Loosen your hold on problems. Allow joy and humor to enter into your life. As you open your mind to humor, joy, happiness, you are aligning with God. Through the ages, people have tried to bring joy into their lives through outer influences, drink, drugs, and all manner of concoctions. These outer things do not give joy. True joy is an inner quality attained from being at one with God. When you have truly connected to God, you find an inner joy which is uplifting and healing. Strive to be in alignment with God. Make this your goal. To be at one with God is to be in complete alignment with Him. To be aligned means to be in a straight line with God. To be aligned with His power and love. There will be no angles blocking you from God through prayer. Prayer is placing yourself in right alignment to receive the flow of all of God's essence. Okay, so we're going to stop right there. That is half of chapter 8 when we're talking about the importance of prayer. So as I said, in the next video, we will wrap up that section, joy as prayer, and then we'll finish the rest of that chapter. Thank you all so very much for joining me. I love you all so much. And until I see you again, take care of you and take care of those around you. Bye-bye.